Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and today I've got another product haul from Temu. So this is going to be the second Temu product haul video that I've done. If you want to see the first Temu product haul video that I did, go ahead and click the card above my head. It's going to take you to that video. You can see all the things that I purchased from there, along with the links to where you can find them on Temu. And spoiler alert, it worked out pretty good. Now, this is another assortment of products that I also think can be pretty useful in and around the house. I've got a total of 6 different items in this bag, and full disclosure, all 6 of them were provided to me by Temu because they gave me a $60 credit to choose from an assortment of different products, and that's what I did. But I'm still going to give you my complete and honest opinion about everything that I got inside of this package. So let's open it up, see what I got. And if you're interested in any of the items I show here today, I'm going to leave links down in the description where you can find them on Temu, along with the promo code to give new Temu users 30% off their entire order. So I'm going to stay in here for the first item because it is an LED desk lamp and it costs $9.49. So here's the desk lamp. It is very lightweight and it is on this articulating arm here that you can extend either to go completely up just like that, and then you can just kind of level it to however your heart desires. So that's pretty decent. And then it is also powered by USB. It looks like we have USB-A on one end and a micro USB on the other end. And then here's a little power button right here. Let's plug it in and see if it works. My main motivation for getting this light was so that I can have more illumination from when I'm painting my little figures here, especially towards the evening hours when there's no light coming in the room and the light above my head is just not good enough. So I wanted something that was going to be closer to the source. And I think that this is going to do the job just fine, especially when the room is darker. It's much lighter in here right now, but the effect will be so much more pronounced when it's darker in here. This light is not the brightest in the world. Is very subtle. That's why I prefer to keep it on the level 3 brightness as opposed to level 1, level 2. I think level 3 is definitely the best for me. The way that this lamp is designed, it is designed so that it looks like there's like a fabric base right here. It has stitching along the corners and there's stitching along the top of this light here as well. But it's not actually stitching, you know, it's plastic. But it is nicely designed. It's powered by USB, so you can plug into a battery charger if you don't have a USB or a electrical outlet near you. And yeah, it looks like it's going to do the job just fine, and I like the way that it's articulated like that. It keeps its position very well. It's a nice hinge here, so you can just kind of move it in whatever position that you want. So yeah, this is going to do just fine for me. Look at that. I can get nice and close if I want to. So yeah, I like this little light. I think it gets the job done. Next up is the portable and rechargeable battery juice blender. So this costs $7.69 over on Temu, and this is just what it says. It is a portable blender that you can take with you on the go. So this one that I have here is the pink version because I think this was the cheaper one available. So let's just take this out of the plastic and see what we get. So this also comes with the micro USB to USB-A cable, and we also get inside of here. So here's the product information sheet right here, and it says that it's small in size, portable, multi-use, can mix kinds of fruits and vegetables. It's got charge and discharge, protection. It can make 1 cup of juice in 1 minute, and it also can be used repeatedly when it is charged up until the battery is dead. And over on the back, we have some more instructions and whatnot, but it's a blender. We can figure it out. And it also comes with this micro USB to USB-A cable for charging. And here's a look. Here's a look at the unit's base. That's where we plug in the cable to charge it. There's the power button. We've got our 4 blades right there. Are they sharp? They should be. Our cup here is 380 milliliters. And then we also have the little top right here that you can screw off. And it's even got all these little perforated holes right there. So even though it's just a blender, I still want to give it its fair shot. So I'm looking at the instructions here, and it says that the longest juice time is for 90 seconds, the idle is 5 seconds, or work 90 seconds automatically, stop, green light flashes. Please reset the switch and then boot. Please do not press the juice continuously so as not to be too large to heat and affect the life of the product. Okay. So I've got myself some strawberries and some bananas, so let me get this cleaned up and let's plug this in and charge it. Then we'll see how good at juicing this little $7 and some change device actually is. So the first thing I want to do is clean it, and I want to make sure that these blades were nice and clean. So I put a little bit of water in here along with 1 drop of dish soap, and I haven't charged it yet, but hopefully it's got enough juice in there just to let it see how it works. So I'm going to press this button here, and it says double click to start. Let's do that. All right, so that worked, but I am going to give this a full charge so that we can get the most power out of this thing as possible. But I'm now confident that the blade is clean, so I'm just going to rinse this out and come back when it's fully charged. So this has been charging for about 3 hours like the instructions said, and I put strawberries and bananas in here about 60% of the way up, and then I put some liquid in there so that I've got about 20% or so of space remaining before we get to the top. Now this is some of the softest fruit that you can get. I mean, just fresh strawberries and mushy bananas, and I cut them up really small, like really finger size, something that you would give like a 1-year-old, you know, so it's really small. But now I got the top on there. I'm going to give this just a little bit of a shake. I'm, trying to be fair with this. All right. So now I'm going to double click this button and let's see what happens. And mind you, we can shake it. We can turn it upside down. The instruction says that that can help move it along. So here we go. It just stopped. All right, let's shake it up a little bit. It stopped again. I'm just going to have it upside down and see what happens. Now, they also said that once this is fully charged, then you should be able to do 10 to 12 cups of making, a drink. So you hear that? So it sounds like it really wants to do the thing, but once I start bringing the liquid towards it, okay, all right, we're making progress. It just gets bogged down way too quickly, and this isn't difficult. This is literally just strawberries and bananas cut up into really small pieces. I mean, really small pieces. And also at this point, it's not even like there's any chunks in it at this point. At this point, it's pretty much just liquid with a little bit of strawberry and banana inside of it. And the darn thing still does not want to blend. I got it upside down and now it just stops. So out of all the Temu products that I've tried so far, this blender here is definitely the most disappointing, simply because it does not do what you would expect it to do, which is just blend the simplest of things. But we still got a pretty good average going on. So let's take a look at the next item that I got from Temu. This is a self-stirring coffee mug, and it costs $8.99, and it brings us one step closer to living a life of complete and total laziness. So the way that this works is you unscrew the bottom of it, and you see it's got 2 batteries in here, 2 AAA batteries, and what you do is that you press this little button right here. After you take this top off, you can press this little button, and then look what happens. So you can see down in there, when you press this button, it starts spinning just like that, and you have to hold it down. And this is going to stir all of the ingredients inside of this coffee cup for you, so you don't have to use a spoon. Now, because of that, you can't put this in the dishwasher, and you cannot put it in the microwave. All right, so you just got to clean it by hand, but when you put everything in there, it stirs it for you. What better way to test this than with a cup of coffee? So here is the latte that I made, all nice and foamy, but I want to add a bit of creamer to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little bit of creamer inside of here. Probably a lot of bit of creamer inside of here. That should do it. And now we're going to stir it up. Now, when you stir it, you got to make sure that this lid is actually on it, because if you don't, you can get some splash. So it seems like the thinner the liquid, the stronger it's going to be and the faster that vortex is going to be. So you see I had that foam in there and it was moving a little bit slowly, but now that that foam is just sort of being mixed into this coffee, things are going a lot faster now. I've been stirring this for a while, there's really no need for it. But now let's take a sip. Yep, it is nicely incorporated, and that is very, very tasty. So yeah, this self-stirring mug, pretty darn cool for $8.99. And you can just put the lid on it, and it's got the little spout right there. Works perfectly good. This is a mini handheld car vacuum, and it costs $14.39, and it charges via USB-C, so you can use the same cord that you likely use for your phone to charge this thing up. And it was really easy to put together. It comes all detached, you know, like this, but then it also has this little filter here, and then you just stick the filter into this clear part until it sits nice and flush like that. On this end, it has this little brush attachment, so if you want to do a little bit of brushing, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. And then you got the main component here, and then you can just put it on and give it a twist to lock it in place. And then you got the trigger right here that you can press, and then the air starts blowing out from the back as well, so it kind of works pretty decent as a fan, and that works as it's pretty hot in here. But let's see if this thing can actually get up some little pieces of debris and dirt and leaves and grass and stuff that's on the carpet of my car. All right, so let's see how we did. I'm just gonna take this off. You can kind of see, you can see right in there all the little debris and dirt and little bits like that, and you can also see some of it right there on the filter as well. So yeah, I think this did a pretty decent job at cleaning the carpet down there in my car, which is what it's supposed to be used for. So I like this little thing, and I like the fact that it's rechargeable too. Your car can never be too clean. This is a device that takes potatoes and turns them into uniform French fry slices, and they call it the potato chipper, and it costs $14.49. So here's how it works. When you lift up this arm here, it takes this part and it takes it to the back, and then you insert the potato right inside there, and then when you pull this handle down, it pushes it through these metal grates right here, and then in theory we'll be able to get some nice uniformly shaped French fry slices out of it. So it also comes with a second set of this grate here along with this little part. I have no idea what these are called, but this will give you smaller slices, and then the one that was on here by default will give thicker slices. And it's pretty easy to change them out. All you have to do is just kind of take this part and just lift it out of the way, and then you can just lift this right up and take it off and clean it up, and then you pull this back down to lock it into place. And then on the flip side, for this other part here, all you have to do is turn that little lever right there, and then this part pops right off. And then you can take this part and just sort of slide it into these grooves, and it hooks into place, and then you can lock it right back down and you are ready to go. So let's see if this lightweight metal mechanism can make us some French fries. This is a standard russet potato, and as we can see here, this is way too long to actually go into here. So I'm going to have to cut this down to size. It's going to give us some shorter fries, but it's what's necessary to get the job done. So I cut the potato in half roughly. Let's see if this is going to fit. Okay, so this fits right inside there. And let's see if we get some French fries on the other side. So 3, 2, 1, push. Oh God, I'm nervous. Oh boy. Jeez. As you saw here. Okay, let's look at the results. All right, so the results are, yeah, it came out. They are, uniform-ish. The potato is not a perfect shape. And the potato isn't the perfect shape, so all of these little pieces here, they aren't the exact same size because that's the way the potato is, but they did come out looking pretty good for the most part. But man, it was a little bit of a struggle because this is not like the sturdiest thing in the world, so it was really making me nervous. I didn't want to mash it down so hard that it would send my hand into this metal part. I ended up hurting myself. So that was a little bit tough. I was nervous, but let's try this other half of this potato and we're going to try it again. Let's see what those results are. All right, so we got it in there. So let's do it. Hope you're ready for some French fry making action in 3, 2, 1. And out the other side it goes. All right. So check it out. I learned something. So if you cut the potatoes into smaller portions, it's easier to push through. Like this right here is kind of like me quartering a potato as opposed to just trying to put it in there, halfway. So I'm just going to put this in here and you see how small that is. And now when I push it through, it goes through a lot easier. All right, so it still takes a little bit of elbow grease, but it's a lot easier if you cut the potato into quarter pieces, kind of like this, as opposed to just throwing it in there as a whole potato. All right, so let's do this again. Oh yeah, see, that was much easier with that one. And now for the very last piece, put that in there. I'm just trying to get it straight. It probably doesn't need to be, but here we go with this one. Boom. All right. Perfection. All right, so to give this thing a fair shake, hey, as you can see here, these are some pretty decent looking French fries here, They come out better than I would have been able to do myself just with a knife. And even though this is not the most sturdiest and most robust piece of kitchen equipment I've ever had before, if you manage the portions of the potatoes and quarter them instead of just cutting them in half, or instead of just trying to shove a whole big thick potato in there, you'll be able to get some pretty decent results without too much effort. The last thing that I want to show you is this magnetic microwave cover. This costs $3.99 and the premise is simple. When you got food in your microwave that you don't want it to be splattering all over the place, you put this on top of the plate or the bowl to protect from the splatter. But what happens when you don't want this to be in your microwave? Maybe you have something that's too big for this to go over. That's where this magnetic cover comes into place. It's got 4 magnets right here, and you stick it on the top of the interior of your microwave, and then when you want to use it, you simply bring it down and use it. Now, I have something similar to this, but it doesn't use magnets. So I thought that this could be very, very useful. And it's got these little ventilation ports right here. But unfortunately, I cannot show you this in action because my microwave has a cover on the top of it that it says do not remove. And that little cover is not magnetic. So it won't stick to it. So I got no use for it. But this is magnetic. I've got a tube of magnets here, so there you go. It works. So if the top of your microwave is magnetic, this should be able to stick up there just fine, save you a little bit of space in your microwave and give you something to cover your food as well. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Those were the 6 most recent items that I got from Temu. Let me know down in the comments which item that you enjoyed the most. To me, I think it's going to have to be that desk lamp because I think it looks good. It's very well articulated. It holds its position and it holds a charge. I didn't even realize that at first. And I let it run for about 2 hours unplugged on the brightest setting and it was still on. It wasn't as bright as it was when I first unplugged it, but it was still on. So it's nice to know that you don't always have to be tethered in order to use that light. And as for that blender, well, yeah, I probably should just ignore that blender, but everything else was pretty darn cool. But remember, if you want to purchase anything that you saw here today, I'll have links down in the description that will take you directly to that product. And also there's a promo code there for 30% off. If you are a new Temu customer, you can put in that code and it'll give you 30% off your entire order just to get you started. So that's it, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, I'm Jeremy. Talk to you later.